Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner Since 96, and you are watching our match day build up. That's right, it's match day, ladies and gentlemen, and I am pretty excited, I have to say. I didn't think I would be excited because after the Crystal Palace game, the woeful game that it was, I was very, I was quite I didn't really want this day to come where Arsenal played another football game, especially another weak side in the Premier League. I was a little bit beaten up because we really should have done better than we did against Crystal Palace. But nevertheless, another game is here, another opportunity to prove ourselves. So Arsenal versus Crystal Palace in this video, Newcastle. In this video, I am going to talk through the predicted team lineup, the forms, to both of the teams' forms going into this game. Of course, I have already done a opposition analysis on Newcastle about a week ago, so you can check that out where I talk in depth about their strengths, their weaknesses. But I'll touch on a little bit about how I think they'll set up today, who's likely to start for them in terms of like their key players, and how Arsenal should go about approaching this game. So let's talk about the forms. Right now, Arsenal are going into this game with 4 clean sheets on the bounce. I think it's 5 games undefeated. This will be our 6th if we go on to avoid defeat, and we're looking really, really good. I say that with reluctancy because our form tells us that we're looking good, but our performances say otherwise. So we're looking decent. Okay, we're looking decent. We're looking at a much more improved side than we were when we had that tough run of games. Newcastle, on the other hand, aren't looking very, very good at all. They are looking very poor, in fact. State the obvious, why don't you? They're going into this game without a win in 7, I think, and they're struggling to pick up form, to pick up results. You have to feel sorry for them because they have a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID, players suffering from COVID that has ruled them out from games. One player being Alan St. Maximum, one of their key players. I rate him highly. I think he's a really underrated player. He makes an instant difference when he's on the pitch. Give it a couple seasons, I think he'll be out of Newcastle and onto a better team in the Premier League. But talks are that he might be back in this game. I highly doubt it. I don't think Newcastle will risk having him on so early after coming back from COVID. I don't think he'll be match fit. So if he does appear, he'll probably be on the bench and ready to come on in the second half or in the 60th minute, something like that. Callum Wilson, I'm sure he will appear tonight. Ryan Fraser, I'm sure he can't appear tonight because obviously he's injured. He's suspended for the game. They do have Jamal Lascelles back, their captain. I expect Newcastle to play 5 at the back because that's where they've been, I guess, strongest this season. They've been alternating from a 4 at the back to a 5 at the back. I can't remember. It's all on the opposition analysis. You'll find it all there. But I imagine that they will try to replicate the system that they played in the FA Cup against us. They did really well to stop us from breaking down their back line. So I imagine Steve Bruce will go for the same kind of style. In terms of Arsenal, we're looking really, really poor going forward. Our build-up play has been relatively slower than in the West Brom game. We've been looking at a completely different side, actually. So Brighton was a really cautious game. Both sides really not wanting to go at each other. And then we obviously played Newcastle and then Crystal Palace. So last 3 games have been quite poor in terms of our performances. We've been building up play, but however, it's just been too slow. So I expect there to be a few changes. I think Arteta has noticed that the last third in the game, he's mentioned it himself, the last third has been poor poor, has been slow, sluggish, just haven't been able to pick out those killer passes and be able to get a clear shot on goal or make any real attempts on goal. I think we started the games quite well in the last few games. The first 10 minutes have been bright with players committing themselves forward, causing a threat in the box. So I think we will have a bright start, but the crucial element to this game will be getting an early goal. I think an early goal, at least in the first 20-25 minutes, is really quite important. If we go into the second half 0-0 or worse, a goal down, it will be very, very difficult for us to do anything in the second half. So yeah, let's talk about team lineup. Arsenal, I think we will go for a 4-2-3-1 once again. Leno to start in goal. Our centre-back pairing, I would love to see Gabriel back in the squad. I really hope he does. Luis has done well with his distribution from the back, so I don't know. It'll be a tough one. I'm pretty sure that Gabriel will be called back into the back four. He'll be obviously partnered with Holding. Don't really see any other player pushing his way into the first team. Obviously, Mari's out for the next few games. So, yeah, I imagine it to be Gabriel and Holding at the back, who have both done really well so far this season. So, what you can say is keep it up. On the right, we've got Bellerin. I imagine Bellerin will start. I don't see Maitland-Niles starting after the horrific game that he had against Palace, albeit in the wrong position, but I don't see Arteta picking him over Bellerin. I think Bellerin's done okay on the right-hand side. He hasn't been the best, but when he's gone forward, it has been positive. He has managed to put balls into the box. That is our weak side, our weak link. We know that, they know that, so we haven't got much of a choice. So Bellerin on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we're really, really glad to hear that Kieran Tierney will be back. So that's really, really good to hear, especially after hearing that he was going for a scan. So it's nice to know that it's nothing serious. He will be back in the starting 11. Fingers crossed. He's definitely, if not back this week, he will definitely be back in the next game. He might be put on the bench, but I don't see anyone else filling in his position other than himself. Cedric potentially, but no, I do see Tierney starting on that left-hand side. Hopefully he is fully match fit and he's ready to go, because boy, did we miss him in the Palace game. I think he will make a big difference in this game today, depending on who he's playing with on the left-hand side, who we'll get to. But the overlapping runs, I want to see that. Taking on players, I want to see that. You don't really expect anything less other than what you see from Kieran Tierney week in, week out. That's now his benchmark, really. That's just a given to his performance, to what we expect. And that just shows the class of the player and the qualities that he's got in his changing room. So that's my back four. In the two, this will be the most interesting to see how Arteta decides to play this out in the middle of the pitch. My personal two centre midfield pairing, ideally for this game, would be to start Partey and to play Elneny. I would love to see Partey start. I think he's fully match fit now. He's ready to go. He's played 30 odd minutes in the last game, so this will be an opportunity for him to play 90 minutes or take him off in 70 minutes or whatever. But I would love to see him start a game, set the tempo, dominate the middle of the park, which has been missing in the last few games and which has been the deciding factor, I think, in the way that we push forward. Last game, I know Xhaka's been getting a lot of praise, but I stick to my guns. I stick to what I said. I think Xhaka had a really, really poor offensive game where he slowed down the pace of the game and just allowed us to sit back more, play more flat. Just the fluidity of the way that Xhaka plays affects the whole movement of the game in terms of the way Arsenal play. So I would like to see Elneny play, because I think Elneny play with Partey, because I think Elneny, in the times that he has played, has been more mobile, has been more active, has looked like the more likely player to push the ball forward, and off the ball his his play on off the ball is really good as well, because he's chasing down, always looking like he's chasing the ball, applying pressure as well. So I'd like to see on any play of Partey. And the all-important position, our number 10 role, do I think we should play Emil Smith-Rowe? No, I think Emil Smith-Rowe should be benched for this game. I think last game against Palace, he looked flat. He looked a little bit... I don't know. I just feel like a player of his age and the development stage that he's going through, it's not wise to start someone like that every single game. I think put him on the bench, give him time to, recover, catch his breath a little bit. Not to say that, he's tired or anything, but I think just to play someone week in, week out can be dangerous to their development. It's not wise to push him into the deep end so early. So personally, I would like to see Dani Ceballos play in that 10 position. I don't think he has played in that 10 position. And if he has, it has been very, very limited. So it will be interesting to see Dani Ceballos in that position, because against Palace, he was absolutely incredible, putting in beautiful balls in from central midfield up the pitch, and just looking the likely midfielder, the likely player to cause an opening, to create a chance, an opportunity for the players up front. So with him in that number 10 role, where he has been really active, running around the pitch, putting in really nice balls, I don't know. I don't want to say that, I think he will do really well in that position, but it will be interesting to see what he can do in that position against a Newcastle team as well, who you'd expect are just going to sit back, play on the counter attack. I think it's a good opportunity to try and maybe find another suited player in that number 10 role, rather than just persisting with Emil Smith-Rowe, because I really, this is the worst sort of case scenario, but I don't want Smith-Rowe to be played week in, week out to the extent where his performance decline and then he hits that glass ceiling that he's unable to push through, just like we're seeing with the likes of Willock and Nelson to some extent as well. We need to really take care of players like Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe, because they've shown that they have the potential to be superstars in this squad. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. So I'd play Dani Ceballos in our number 10 role, and our front three. On the left, I'd have Martinelli. I think it's time to give that boy game time. He's back from his ankle niggle, rolled over his ankle, whatever it was. He's back. He's fully fit. He's training. We've seen the videos. We've seen him in action. And I think it's time for him to play on that left-hand side, especially, like I said, against a Newcastle side that are going to be playing with low blocks of defence, and that are going to have a really organised, structured back five. We need players that can open them up, that can cause real threat. And Martinelli is going to be that guy who is going to give you energy from the very first minute. In the centre, I'd have Lacazette, because we know when he came on in the FA Cup, he caused real problems. He single-handedly opened up their defensive structure to allow Emil Smith-Rowe to run in and score that amazing goal. So I think Lacazette should play as almost as a false nine, playing with Dani Ceballos, allowing the likes of Martinelli and Saka on the right-hand side, who I'm going to have get into the box and be able to, get in behind of the Newcastle defence, and be in those scoring spaces of scoring opportunities. I don't know how to get my words out right today. So that is my team lineup. That's how I hope Arsenal will start. How Arteta will shape Arsenal today, it's obviously a completely different story. I'm sure that he's not going to play Dani Ceballos in a number 10 role. I'm sure that El Neni is not going to start. I'm sure he's going to play Xhaka and Partey together, but again, we're yet to see how that happens, how that plays out. So how I expect Newcastle to play, I expect Newcastle, like I said, to be really defensive, almost similar to how Crystal Palace played on the counter attack, which means that Arsenal have to be very, very organised, and we need to be playing smart, clever, quick football where each player has to be, running around. And the one thing that I don't want to see is players standing still, allowing Newcastle to keep that shape in place. I want to see Lacazette do what he does best, running up and down, off the ball, on the ball, just being a handful for whoever's marking him. I want to see Martinelli and Saka or whoever plays on those both hand sides. If Aubameyang starts today, I want to see him move. He needs to move. It's pivotal that he moves. I'm sick and tired of seeing Aubameyang stand still, wait for the ball. Whether he's playing on the left or the centre, he can't stand still. It infuriates me that, someone of his caliber, someone of his stature isn't being utilized enough. Like, we know what he's capable of. I just don't know what's happened ever since he signed that contract. All of a sudden, everything's just been, really quite. The performances have just declined. And when you're watching him in a game, and I was watching him against Palace, I've been watching him in the last couple of games, and I can see a completely different sort of Oba, one that's being a little bit more cautious, a little bit more safe. Maybe, of course, that will be down to his confidence, but you can't expect things to happen when you're not doing anything about it. So it's important, it's pivotal that all 11 men today are working together. And what I mean by working together is moving off the ball and creating opportunities for each other. That's the only way you're going to open someone like Newcastle up, a team that is going to play ultra defensive, that is going to be organised, that is going to be man marking. The only thing that you can do to open up opportunities for yourself is move. Pass the ball, move. Get into space, look into these openings, pull players out of position. These are the kinds of things that Arsenal need to do. And then when Newcastle win the ball, you need to press. The first thing that they'll probably do is get the ball and fling it over the top, but you need to press. You need to make sure that you've got Holding and Gabriel maintaining their positions. Whoever's playing in central midfield, whether it be Xhaka or El Neni or Partey, hopefully, they need to fill in the positions of our wingers who will be going down. Bellerin's position needs to be I can't think of the word, and it's really frustrating. Needs to be covered. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Covered. Bellerin's position needs to be covered, and so does Tierney's position when we're bombing down and looking on the offensive, because you better believe it, the moment they get the ball, it's going to be going over the top, and those spaces are going to be the spaces that they attack first. So look, it's going to be a lot of organizational I can't think of the word again. Basically, in order to win this game today, we're gonna have to be really, really organized. Wow, I don't know why I've struggled so much to speak English today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell notification to be notified every time I release a video. So 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. Tomorrow I'll be back with a a post-match reaction. And until then, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the game. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.